going to be awesome tomorrow. I mean, this is a sit on the couch and just camp out. Maui Invitational begins at 2:30 Eastern Time. Number 7, Tennessee and Syracuse. That's followed by number 2, Purdue and Gonzaga. I mean, holy cow. Kansas and Chaminade at 9. And then 11:30. Guys, I'm burning the midnight oil. We'll all be up. Marquette and UCLA. All right, let's look at the odds for this. We've got the odds for this tournament because I want to get right to your most valuable pick here, who you're throwing some dollars on, what you think. Rob Dauster, who you got winning the Maui Invitational? Who you sprinkling some green on?
Well, those odds are via our partners over at BetMGM Sportsbook. And I think that the best value there, I think, is Marquette, because I do believe that they are a top 5 team in America, and to have them be the number 4 team in terms of the price that you can get over at BetMGM is that seems a little long to me. I get it. You get Kansas in the potentially in the second round of the event, and Kansas doesn't have to worry about playing a team that can beat them in the first round. So it is what it is. Tyler Kolek's got the ankle, but I'm still on a Marquette. I'm very curious to see what happens when they can go up against someone like a Kansas and maybe a Purdue, with the way that Oso Ighodaro can pull people away from the basket. But Goodman, I got to ask you, and this is where we got to talk about Vaulted. Vaulted is an app that allows you to participate in daily cash prize pools without an entry fee. It is the place you can store your own predictions forever. And by using the Vaulted Challenge feature, you can prove that you're smarter than your enemies, like Jeff Goodman. Go and download the Vaulted app, VLTED. Get the free trial and store your predictions and join daily cash prize pools without an entry fee. Goodman, I am saying right here, right now, Purdue laying 4.5 points tomorrow against Gonzaga is one of the craziest lines that I have seen in college basketball so far this season. Goodman, my challenge to you is that Purdue is going to cover that 4.5, and you could give me 10 more points, and I probably would still take Purdue here. Am I crazy for betting against, for picking against, for challenging against your St. Mary's WCC rivals Gonzaga here?
You're usually nuts, but you're not nuts here, because Purdue's got depth. They've got depth. They've got what Gonzaga does not have. And Gonzaga also doesn't have a superstar. And what they don't have is depth in the front court. So I think Zach Edey could foul out the entire team in about 15 minutes. And Greg's going to have trouble. Graham Ike is going to have trouble. They're going to be trying to call Drew Timme back from the G League or wherever he is right now. And he does have some eligibility left, so maybe they can get him back.
I've got a take on this tournament. The more I look at it, I think the team that's best positioned to win it is Tennessee, because I think they're going to be able to get past Syracuse with relative ease. No offense to Judah Mintz, I just think it's a bad matchup, and the line would reflect that. It's 13.5. That's a bit heavy, but it is what it is. Guys, regardless, like Purdue, I agree with you. I think that they win by, I'm going to say 8 to 12 points. But it's still Gonzaga. And in these tournaments, day to day, last year, remember in the Maui, Creighton played Arkansas? Creighton won. But Creighton got to the final. They weren't the same team by the end of the championship. And Arizona beat them. And Arizona was great in that tournament. But to me, draws matter. And Tennessee is so tough. If they could get through an easy game, and remember, they're the first game of the day. That matters in these tournaments too. They're going to beat whoever wins between Purdue and Gonzaga. The Volunteers are winning the Maui Invitational.
Wow.
I'll say this too. Kansas, here's the thing with Marquette. Marquette gets a UCLA team that the kid Burke just got cleared. Bunch of young dudes, bunch of guys. What's that?
What's his last name? Burke's last name.
I don't know. Burke Buchachut. I don't know. I have no idea.
Come on, man. Burke Buchtenschel. Get it right. Have a little respect for the player that got cleared today and learn how to pronounce his name, please.
Let's see if Bill Walton can pronounce it, because Bill Walton's doing Maui. What will Bill Walton call him?
So good.
I don't know, but it's going to be ugly.
All right, go on.
I just think here's the thing. To me, Kansas is beatable. After watching Kansas the other night against
Yes.
Kentucky, they're a beatable team. And now you got KJ Adams. They're not sure he's going to be back for the Chaminade game, which is no big deal, but he's dealing with the death of his mother. And prayers out to you and your entire family, KJ, one of the best kids you'll meet. But I just, they don't shoot it well. They've got their limitations. I think they can be beaten. So I'm kind of with Rob on the Marquette thing. The only thing that concerns me is Tyler Kolek's ankle, playing 3 games in 3 days. That concerns me. That quick, bounce back against a Kansas team that's going to have DeJuan Harris all over him. That's not going to be an easy task. So, listen, to me, all right, I'm talking myself into Purdue. After all this, I'm going to talk myself and I'm going to go Purdue plus 325. That's where the real value lies. I'm going with the Boilermakers. How's that?
Can I also just say this? I said this the other day on the show, Fan. I want your take on this. Goodman's heard my rant about this. I really, really hope that we get Purdue, Kansas in a championship game. Like, all loyalties aside, like, I understand why Tennessee fans and Marquette fans and Gonzaga fans and Syracuse fans are going to hate this idea. But the number 1 and number 2 teams in college basketball are in Maui. That 5 p.m. tip-off, the championship game on the Wednesday evening before Thanksgiving. That's the one of the best windows you can get for college basketball. You have arguably the 2 best players in college basketball in Zach Edey and Hunter Dickinson. They play the same position, right? You have Bill Self, who has won championships and won all these Big Ten regular season titles, going up against a guy in Matt Painter that has done the exact opposite of what Bill Self has done in the NCAA tournament. As a matter of fact, if you go back and look at what Bill Self was in like 2007, that's where Matt Painter is right now in his career. I want those 2 teams to play. I want that matchup. I want that game. The Maui title, to me, feels bigger than any of the other preseason MTEs that we get. Like, it matters more. It's Maui. And we have the top 2 teams in America and the top 2 players in America that play in the same position. And they have a chance to go up against each other for the championship out there in Hawaii. Come on, man. Give me that. We need it.
I agree with you. It'd be great for college basketball. This week's going to be all about Ohio State, Michigan, and the NFL, which is king. If we get a 1 versus 2 on Wednesday, it's huge for the sport. And that 1 versus 2 becomes the perfect lead into Thanksgiving Day because it's in its own window. So I agree with you, but I have concerns with Kansas about how they performed against Kentucky. DeJuan Harris, is he actually going to shoot the ball at that level again? And if he doesn't, who is? I don't think we're going to get Kansas-Purdue. I think we could very well get Tennessee and Marquette for a championship, and I think it would be a lot of fun. It wouldn't be 1 versus 2, but Marquette has more shooting than Kansas. We'll see if that matchup happens, how that would go. You certainly have swagger, guys. Hunter Dickinson on one side and Tyler Kolek on the other. I mean, I'm just saying there could be some real trash talk there between those guys.